Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving right into something we've all felt but maybe couldn't quite put a finger on. It's a profoundly human experience that touches every single one of us. Yet, honestly, it often feels like total magic. We're going to bridge the gap between the rigorous science of the mind and the quietest corners of our inner wisdom. Yep, you guessed it, we're talking all about intuition.
Right off the bat, think back for a second. Have you ever met someone for the very first time and instantly, without a single logical reason, just felt like you could completely trust them? Or, maybe you've had the exact opposite happen. A sudden, totally unexplainable feeling that something was just off, even though everything looked perfectly fine on the surface. You might have even flipped a huge decision at the absolute last second, just because a quiet inner voice told you to, only to realize way later that it was the absolute best choice you could have made. These moments are incredibly relatable, right? We all have these gut feelings.
So let's jump into part one, the mystery of intuition. What is it really? For centuries, people have debated this quiet inner voice. Is it some kind of unexplainable magic, or is it a highly evolved feature of the human brain? Well, think of your conscious awareness as just the tiny, visible tip of a massive iceberg. Down beneath the surface, your brain is acting like a supercomputer, constantly analyzing a sheer mountain of subtle data. While you are just focusing on having a conversation, your brain is simultaneously clocking micro shifts in facial expressions, it's tracking the exact tone of a voice, shifts in body language, ambient sounds, and even incredibly subtle scents. It's taking in the whole shebang all at once. Moving on to part two, System 1 and System 2. Let's look at how the brain actually operates under the hood. To really wrap our heads around intuition, we have to look at the architecture of how we make decisions. The brilliant Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman spent decades studying this exact thing, and he proposed that our brain essentially operates using two primary systems. System 2 is basically the you that you identify with. It's slower, it's deliberate, conscious, and analytical. It's the gear you shift into when you need to solve a tough math problem. But System 1? System 1 is fast, it's automatic, and it's highly intuitive. According to Kahneman, a massive chunk of our daily decision-making is actually driven by System 1. It operates totally in the background, continuously learning from everyday life and recognizing patterns way before our deliberate System 2 is even aware a pattern exists.
So here's the real kicker. Intuition is not supernatural. Not at all. It's actually one of the most remarkable, grounded, and scientifically fascinating abilities of our mind. When you get a gut feeling, you aren't tapping into some mystical force. You're just experiencing the output of your brain's highly efficient subconscious pattern recognition system. It's gathered up all that subtle data we just talked about, rapidly run it against a massive database of everything you've ever experienced in your life, and delivered a sudden, final conclusion right to your conscious mind.
Which brings us to part three, the power of pattern recognition. Let's see this expertise in action.
You see, intuition isn't just for everyday choices. It is the absolute backbone of high-stakes mastery. Think about a veteran emergency room doctor. They can often look at a patient for literally just a few seconds and instantly know something is critically wrong, way before a single blood test comes back from the lab. They aren't just guessing. Over thousands of hours of practice, their brain has become incredibly efficient at detecting extremely subtle warning signs, maybe the slight pallor of the skin, or a specific rhythm of a breath. The exact same thing applies to pilots, firefighters, athletes, and musicians. Through immense experience, their System 1 detects complex patterns so incredibly fast that it feels like an instant gut feeling. They just know what to do.
But let's pause for a second for part 4, when to question your gut, because it's not always correct. Our minds are incredibly complex, and because intuition is built on past experiences, it's really only as flawless as the data it has collected. Sometimes what feels like a really powerful gut instinct is actually just a false alarm. True intuition comes from experience-based pattern recognition. It feels like a calm, sudden insight. False alarms, on the other hand, are often driven by fear or anxiety. They can be clouded by emotional wounds, where maybe a trauma from your past tricks your brain into seeing danger in a completely safe situation. Biases and inaccurate memories can also totally skew our subconscious processing. It is absolutely vital to recognize that anxiety loves to play dress-up as intuition. It speaks loudly, it's frantic, but true intuition, that's usually a much quieter, clearer knowing. And this is exactly why scientists and psychologists encourage a beautifully balanced approach. Trust your feelings? Absolutely. Listen to that inner voice. But also take a second to examine the evidence. The wisest, most profoundly effective decisions come from a harmony between your intuitive System 1 and your analytical System 2. Let your gut suggest a direction. and let your logical mind verify the path. They aren't opposing forces, they're a team. Let's transition to part 5, finding clarity in stillness, how we go about quieting the mind. Whether you look at intuition through the lens of modern neuroscience or ancient philosophy, there is one universal truth about how we actually access it. We live in an incredibly loud, fast-paced world. We are constantly bombarded by information, notifications, stress, and worry, and when our nervous system gets overwhelmed, our analytical mind just goes into overdrive. In that state of constant distraction, the subtle, quiet signals of our intuition simply fade into the background. Think about it like trying to hear a whisper at a rock concert. It's just not going to happen. The wisdom is there, for sure, but the static of daily life entirely drowns it out. So, how do we tune back in? Well, the answer is profound in its simplicity. Intuition becomes clearer when the mind becomes quieter. Taking a walk in nature, without your phone, sitting with a few minutes of total silence, simply taking the time to pause and truly listen to ourselves. These moments of stillness aren't just relaxing, they are deeply functional for the brain. They quiet the loud, anxious parts of the mind, creating a safe space for that deep inner voice, that subtle pattern recognition to finally rise to the surface and be heard.
Finally, let's look at part 6, trusting your inner wisdom, finding your deep personal truth.
As we bring the science and the soul of this topic together, we arrive at a really beautiful realization. Embracing intuition isn't just about making better or faster decisions. It is a mindful practice of trusting the life you have lived. Intuition exists at the breathtaking intersection of your experience, your emotions, your memories, and your present awareness. It is literally every lesson you've ever learned, every joy, every heartbreak, all distilled down into a quiet guiding light. It's your personal truth encoded right there in your biology. It's the bridge between what your conscious mind knows and the deep, rich wisdom that life has quietly accumulated within you. So I want to leave you with this thought to reflect on today. Perhaps one of the most important lessons in life isn't learning how to consciously control or overthink every single variable. Maybe it's learning how to trust ourselves again, to trust the growth that life has given us. Because deep within you, there is a quiet, brilliant wisdom that is always trying to guide you. The signals are there. The patterns have been recognized. The only question is, are you ready to quiet the noise and truly listen to what life has been teaching you all along? Thank you so much for exploring this fascinating topic with me. Take a moment of stillness for yourself today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.